multi-tenancy supported platform, right? So when I said multi-tenancy, we do support Windows, Mac, and Linux. And when it comes to mobile device management, we do support Android and iOS devices. So when we talk about AEP, Advanced Endpoint Protection offering of Comodo, majorly we will be discussing security related aspects and an ITSM capability. Okay. So for that, you need to install two agent on your endpoint. You can have only one executable if you want to, if not two MSA package. Okay, there are multiple ways to deploy a package. So the first agent will be a communication client. So once you install that, basically a communication will be established between your endpoint to a server. A device will be enrolled to the portal. After that, you can remote into the device, you can do a patch management, and you will get a software inventory with the help of communication client. And if you see, this is how I was able to remote into one of my test machine by using our own tool, remote control by Italian itself. Right. Another agent will be a client security. So once you install that, you can have this multiple security layer there, because we do offer a defense in depth model as well. So let me get into an UI of a client security. All right. So if you see here, these are all the layers of security what we offer. The first layer is the antivirus. It's a signature based detection, right? Where a known malicious incident will be blocked. If it is something known trusted, we will allow that. Another layer is a firewall. It's a standard software based firewall wherein you can configure a rule to monitor inbound and outbound traffic. Of course, if you want to block any of those things, you can do that. We'll discuss this auto containment in a moment, because this is one of the major layer what we will be discussing today in our demonstration. Okay, as Mohit told. Another layer is a HIPS. It's a host-based intrusion prevention system, which is an heuristic analysis engine of Comodo, wherein we'll be looking at malicious system activity and corresponding process. So with that said, we can give you protection against fileless attack, memory-based attacks, script-based attacks. So anything of that nature will be prevented with the help of HIPS. Another layer what we have is a viruscope. So viruscope is our behavior analysis engine of Comodo, wherein we'll be looking at malicious behavior and corresponding IOCs. And if you want to use a DNS based URL filtering solution, then there is an offering called Secure Internet Gateway. Right? If you want to go for an unlimited DNS query support, then you should go for a platinum instead of gold. In a gold, you will be getting 300,000 DNS query per month for 5 devices. That will be there with your AEP. But for unlimited, you should go for platinum. So when we talk about a known malicious incident, we can use any of this layer to give you protection. But the moment something is unknown, if not a zero-day malware, if not a new kind of ransomware, what we have is our auto containment. It's a patented technology of Comodo. It works in a proactive manner, and auto containment is our zero trust architecture. So let's go for a malware demonstration so that you can better understand how does really this auto containment will be helpful to you in a real time. So I'm having this executable called policy update. It looks like an Excel file, but there is an embedded Word file into it. Okay. Think of a scenario. This is unknown and you are going to execute this on an endpoint. So the moment we execute that, over here in a widget, it says one application is running in a container. To see what it is, simply select this icon itself, and you will see this tamper proofing window. You will be configuring this password on the console. Without that, an end user will not be able to uninstall an agent, and unauthorized change prevention will be there for you. And without providing a credential, you will be able to access an embedded Word file. Can you see that? It's available in the background. So you will be able to access that. Right? I can access this if I want to. But let me provide this password. And now you can see this policy update is running in a container because of a rating unknown. That's why this file is now running in a container. In order to know more about this policy update, select this one and get into show activities. So here lots of things happens, right? It is loading image file, making kernel level object changes. Lots and lots of things happens as this file is now running in a container. But my area of focus would be on the child process on this wordpad.exe. And if you see here, this wordpad.exe is running in a container. In spite of the rating trusted, Because the parent process rating right now is unknown, so irrespective of child's rating, it will be contained for you. And the same you can see in the background, that word file. This one. So as you saw, right, I'm able to access this file if I want to. Even though this file is now in a container, you can access that if you want to. It's a kind of a zero production impact, what you can call. And you will see this green border surrounding it, indicating this file is now running in a container. So when we talk about verdicting, 95% of the time, we will give you verdicting within a minute. For a remaining 5% for a sophisticated threat, if we are unable to determine locally on an endpoint, then it will be sent to a Valkyrie, wherein our human expert analysis team will be working on that executable, and then they will give you verdicting. Okay, until and unless we give you verdicting, that file will remain in your container itself. Okay, and if you see, this is basically a ransomware which was executed and which is asking us to pay a ransom to decrypt that one. And you can see this green border surrounding it, stating that this file is now running in a container. Okay, so the question would be, how does really this auto containment works? What we use is a kernel level API virtualization. Okay, so we will introduce an virtualization layer in between a running process and in 5 kernel level functions. When I said kernel level functions, it will going to be a registry, COM interface, file system, kernel object, and service. Okay, whenever a file is executing in a container, it will not be having an access to your system resource and your user data. Okay, it's an isolated platform from your endpoint. And then there will be a v2 root directory in your C drive. Let me show that. This one, the v2 root directory. Right? So it will mimic your operating system structure, and certain file system has been replicated there. So if you get into this container, you can see your user directory there. You can take any folder for an example. As you know, this is a ransomware, so that it will going to encrypt each and every file in your client. But if you see, these are all file has been encrypted with a random character as an extension. If you try to open that, you will not be able to. If we compare that with your native class image picture, that should be intact, right? I think should happen to my native client. Yeah. So it's intact. This is how we trick to run any unknown file if not a zero-day malware until we give you verdicting. If the verdicting says it's a trusted file, next time onwards it will not going to be contained. If the verdicting says it's a malicious one, then process related to that will be terminated in a container, and a signature update will going to happen for each and every endpoint across the globe, right? So let me show you how to manually terminate that, but this thing will happen for an automation as well. So if you get into your task tab, containment task, execute this reset the container option, and select this option. And you can see that WordPad will be closed. And the pop-up was closed.
So Shiva, with this option, that means the whole file is deleted, which was in the container?
Yes, everything, even the memory space VT root will be removed from your C drive.
So VT root is created only when any file which is opened, and that is in the auto containment, correct?
Yes, whenever a file rating of anything is unknown, then only it will be executed in a container. And when you execute that in a container, then only you can see that VT root in your C drive.
Okay.
Yep.
And the rest of the files which are with the usual extensions, say PDF or normal exe, which could be like, you know, executable or any video or something.
Anything with a file rating unknown will going to open inside a container.
But how will the file rating unknown come? Say for
there
example,
will be a
with
file
the
lookup
docx
service. There will be a file lookup service. Okay.
Which is a part of this
our
agent.
solution. No, yeah,
Okay.
you know, right? We have a multiple layer. It's not only a containment, right? We have all the
Yeah, yeah.
7 layer. So each layer will be working together. Means antivirus, you know, it looks for a known signature, right? And hash value. To determine that, it will contact to a cloud saying that, hey, do you know about this file hash? And the verdicting says, yes, we know that this is a good. Then it will be allowed. And the verdicting, if it says no, this is a malicious one, then it will going to be blocked. I'll show you that in a moment. If that file rating is unknown, right, then only it will be running in a container. And even when the file runs in a container will check with the cloud, hey, you know about this behavior. Okay. And
Okay.
our
So it
Valkyrie says
basically,
no.
so the Valkyrie, what you're mentioning is the database, right?
Valkyrie kind of a sandbox, and our human expert analysis team will be working on there.
So it's a manual process that they are checking if in case the auto containment catches syncs back to the central database, for
Yes,
example, in
if
the
we are
cloud.
unable to determine locally. If we are unable to determine locally, then it will be sent to Valkyrie for further analysis. And
Okay.
that's only for a 5% of the time.
Sure. And locally, the auto containment checks with the local database, which is a part of the Comodo agent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, because that's a very complex, and we have, I believe, 32 patent around this container. So it's, in a layman term, we have to say that, but it's a very complex algorithm.
If the auto containment checks with the database, and if the database is of yesterday, and today there is certain hashes been updated, which is not updated in the local database. So will that how will auto containment say that file is okay to release
No,
from the
that's
auto
what.
containment?
Until and unless we give you verdicting, that file will remain in a container.
Yes,
Okay.
even if
So
it remains
that,
in a container for 10 years at all.
yes,
yeah.
if you don't
So
connect
that
to an
means,
internet, means, yeah.
Without interrupting your business. You still can
Yes.
work as you saw how he did with the Word file. He was able to
yeah.
edit, change. So as a user, like if you have an accountant who double clicked on that Word file or Excel sheet, he will continue working for 10 years without knowing that his file was auto-contained. And the client machine that you have, because of the complex 32 patents he talked about, there is lots of AI, there's lots of algorithms, there's lots of intelligence and genius in it. It does not only look at the database, it consults Comodo Cloud for also AI and actual human beings are responding to it. So checking the database is only one step, one of so many steps that are in this complex algorithm. And if Comodo client is disconnected from the internet for 5 years, it's not updated at all, it still applies the zero trust concept in your machine. So if you bring a USB device that has malware on it, it will still contain it in a virtual environment that's an absolute replica of your current environment, like registry keys, key processes, file system, and others. And it will contain it. And if it tries to do harm to your laptop, it will wipe out, exactly like you have seen before, like 5 minutes ago, when he wiped it out, it will be wiped out of your machine. So it's the only client on earth. If it's not connected to the internet, it's not updated, even for years, it still functions 100%. If any other client, whether it's antivirus or EDR, is not connected to the internet for a week, it will be almost useless. That's the difference, because every other technology or tool doesn't work anymore. Antivirus needs signatures, needs hashes. If it's disconnected for 2 days, that's a killer for it. Host-based IPS has to always look for fileless and scripts and everything, and it has to always be connected and updated. Host-based firewall is all about application knowledge and whitelisting and blacklisting, and again, it's not enough. All of them with EDR might give you 99% protection, but the 1% remaining is causing today, it's causing a successful ransomware every 10 seconds. Today, as we talk today, with all the technologies implemented, with the most advanced EDRs being implemented, with the most advanced antiviruses, there is a successful ransomware, that one similar to the one you just saw, every 10 seconds. So zero trust is the only way forward. And the only successful zero trust we have today in the industry is the Comodo's one, which is the auto containment, because we truly create a different laptop on top of your laptop, a second laptop, and you run everything in there. If it's harmful, you just wipe it out, and your original laptop is intact, or original environment is intact and safe. You have seen in how he showed you the same file, like there was an aircraft image, the same aircraft image in the real life, a real endpoint is safe and intact, and in the virtual environment was encrypted, and the hacker was asking you for money to pay, right, for ransom. So it's an absolute interruption to the industry at all. Zero trust is the only way forward, and no one else today has it. Some people started last year trying to develop auto containment, but Comodo is 10 years ahead from them, so it's going to take them forever to reach there. Sorry to interrupt you guys. Shiva, please continue.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
No, I totally understand the difference and the whole picture. My question was, it's good that it works on the zero trust, and that is the unique difference also with this against any other antivirus which is signature based. I totally agree as well that if you take any other antivirus, they are based on the update, and they don't have the auto containment feature, and that's where they lose it for sure, without a doubt.
Yes.
Now my question was that it's good that it behaves against zero trust, that if I'm connected, if I'm disconnected from internet for a day, for example, that is today, then it will my understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, it will put every file in the auto containment, irrespective
if it's
whether
unknown.
If it's unknown, that means if it is, how it will say it is unknown, because it is relating to the local database, correct?
Because there is no rating for it in the local database. Correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay, I got my answer.
Yeah. So it will be contained, and it doesn't affect the end user. That's the genius part of it at all. So the Word file will still run. So your accountant will continue work forever, even for 10 years, without being impacted in business. As Shiva said, it's a beautiful statement he said, with zero impact on your business. So zero day protection with zero impact on your business. Yes.
Now, will it interrupt for me to copy that file, the Excel file, in the auto containment to a USB if I want to take it out and go somewhere, take it to another laptop?
That's a configuration thing. You can block access to those, or you want to allow them. And if you take it in a USB to another device that has Comodo client in it, that other client will contain it. Yes.
Okay.
But you can block that. There is a way to manage your endpoint. There are details of configuration.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you one more thing. Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead, Shiva. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. Yeah. So one more thing, if you compare even with EDR, right? They need less than 20 milliseconds to respond to that, any incident, a computation if you go for, right? But with our today's SSD, that is more than enough to encrypt your entire hard disk if you are going for an SSD. But our solution...
You're mentioning about the time or the size?
Anything. The computation requires somewhere around 20 milliseconds to respond to something. Yes. They will look for a behavior, right?
That's for EDR, endpoint detection and response.
That's more than enough for our today's SSDs, right? To encrypt the entire hard disk.
Correct.
Yeah. The time they say it's a malicious, your entire file will be encrypted. So nothing they can do. But here it will not going to happen. The moment we know this is unknown, contain it. All right. The same file is here.
And is there a time frame also within few milliseconds or something? Or
no.
It's instant.
Okay. It's instant, right? You saw that. The moment I clicked, it was opened inside a container.
So it creates a VT root folder.
Yes.
Instantly. Yep.
Instantly. The same file, if another user tries to execute, even no need to execute, if they try to see, we know that this is a malware. We have a signature for that. And it's blocked.
Because we tried it previously and it recognized that it's a malware. Now that's it. It's gone. Instantly gone. Even if another user is trying to use it, it's gone.
Yeah.
And again, it's
You mean to say
instant.
in the
No
network.
no 20 milliseconds, no 1 minute, no 4 minutes, none of those. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, let me get into the portal then. It's going to be a Dragon Enterprise, right? You can see information like this. So it's again, so if we get into containment to see an event log, you should see that policy update would have been logged here in a container, right? Here you can get file name, file path, file hash, how many device has been infected, you can see here. What is Comodo rating we provide and what is that admin rating has been configured. For an example, if you think this is a false positive and you want to change a rating, yeah, go here, you will be able to change that. So the moment you change this rating, an admin defined rating will take a precedence over Comodo rating. And this is only for your environment.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. But
And how do you know that this file was on which device or?
Here, select this count, it will take you to that page.
Not number of devices.
Yeah, let me show that.
This shows that this file was opened by a number of devices or it was infected.
So see here, in one machine, right? It's been
Okay.
blocked.
It was tried. Okay.
There was one more machine, it was virtualized, means contained.
Okay.
Right? The second window, what I have shown, basically there it was blocked, right? But in the first machine, it was virtualized. SRB Windows 10.06. That's my machine which I have demonstrated to you earlier, this machine. Here it was contained, but on another machine, it was blocked. That's what you can see on the portal itself.
Okay.
Yeah, you will get everything here. Yeah.
And the device is only known by the email address, right? It's not known by the MAC address or something?
No. We will use IP and MAC address to determine an endpoint.
Okay.
IP, host name, yeah, MAC address. We will be using that. So, but as an admin, if you want to have more insights, simply select that one and get into check Valkyrie details. Yeah, you can see analysis like this. So basically, summary, it says it's a malware. Here you can see the file name was cryptic. That was basically a cryptic ransomware. Even if you change the name, we will get to know that it was a ransomware, right?
Okay.
Get into static analysis, you will get a code-based analysis, right? From the signature itself, we know that this is a suspicious file. So dynamic analysis at runtime, yes.
So behind Valkyrie are your threat hunters or analysts?
Yeah, they are there. We have our own R&D team and SOC team and all, yes. They will be monitoring it.
Yes, including threat hunting, yes.
Yes. We have an MDR. So there was a dedicated SOC person, yes. Yeah. So human expert analysis will be given to you here as well, right? So if you select kill chain report, a further detailed analysis will be given to you with the severity, with the verdicting. And here you can see the nature of activity captured on an endpoint, 58% of ransomware, right?
Okay.
Activity details you can see here. Find source if not a payload. By selecting this option, you can see that. Get into here, behavior graph to see a process level understanding. So you can see this parent process, child process with the PAD. If it makes any suspicious call, you will get that.
Okay.
Get into behavior summary. See, for this cryptic, you will get more than 450 pages of analysis. It's a very huge.
Yeah, so, because
yeah.
the known one. Yeah.
Yeah, here you can get access files, read registry keys, modified files, resolved APIs, deleted files, registry keys. So that visibility, right? It's there completely for you.
Yeah.
And if you want to download this report in a PDF format, yes, select this option and you can see that report. Let me show that as well. Yeah, can you see here somewhere 430 pages of analysis on this one? Yep. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show